All right. Yeah, so like I said, eventually I do want to start that. Like I want to do like live, like just like an hour on maybe like the second hour of New York or something. Like the first or second hour of New York, like 7 to 8 my time, or like 8 to 9 my time, which is like New York open, like New York session open, or the second hour of New York open, which is this is when like the stock exchange opens. And then like I've maybe like one during Asia if I'm like bored, just to like try to see if I can get some traction, because it's like I've been trying to work on some like short form stuff for. I've pretty much been trying to just cut up all of my webinars, but it's a bit difficult. AI is kind of dumb still. AI is pretty dumb actually, if I'm being honest. Most AI products are kind of BS. That's why I don't really want to release one. But I have been working on some cool on this cool little training journal. I'll show you guys later maybe. I'm still kind of working on it, but I would love to make that one like open source and like free for anybody to use, just because like the in order for me to make like a trading journal, right? Let's say a trading journal, I can't give it like AI capabilities for free because, for example, if you use AI, right, you guys know that you can buy subscriptions and this and that, but you can't use those subscriptions to offer a product to people. That's like kind of against the terms of service, because when you pay for your subscription, let's say you pay 100 a month for Claude or Chat GPT, right? Then you get X amount of credits for the month, but they're actually subsidizing a lot of the credits that you're getting. So let's say I pay $100 a month, I actually get way more per subscription tier. So let's say, hey, for Claude, it used to be kind of crazy. For like 100, you could get like almost $2,000 worth of inference, and like ChatGPT, there was weeks where we would have like 2x usage, and I could just get, let's just say, a lot. So if I'm paying $100 and they're giving me a bunch of money in inference, then it's against terms of service for me to use my subscription to offer like a trading journal with like AI. It's just really like they would ban me. You know what I'm saying? So in order to make like a trading journal with AI capabilities, it would need a something called an API, right? I'm not gonna get too like deep into it, right? But you need an API, and that API runs costs. So like I wouldn't be able to do it for free, like as a service, without charging anything. It's just almost impossible. And like most of these chatbots, when it comes to like your trading stuff, like it will only be able to tell you like very simple things. And if it can tell you very simple things, then you can probably just code it to give you those simple things. Like most of your losses come from this type of setup, or most of your losses come from this time of the day, or you know what I mean? Like that stuff is pretty like easy to like, not easy, but straightforward to code in. So like I think it's better for me to just like make a pretty good like trading journal and like just open source it, make like a video on how to use it, and like you can just integrate it into like whatever it is that you're doing. So then I could just make a connection to like different kinds of brokers, or figure out how to do that. You could really just if I make it open source, like the journal, and open source just means like the code is free online, and you guys can do whatever you want to it. And if I was to do that, then really, like, if you just download it, and then there's like a setup file where you just use like a Claude or a Chat GPT, right, to set it all up for you. Then you just give it like either a CSV file with of all your trades, or you could like input it manually. You know what I mean? So you could have like two. I want to have maybe two sides of it. One which is like account metrics, and then two is like setups and like stuff like that, like an archive, which is all like local in your computer for you to reference whenever you want. That's like the cool thing about making an app open source. Everything's like local, so you don't have to feed your data to like other people. I mean, I don't know about that's very oddly specific, bro. That's too specific. Like AI is not going to tell you that your setups win. Like it'll tell you the time aspect, but it won't tell you the candle because the candle is bullish. Like it, you can't assume it to say that. Like it won't notice that. It'll just try to pick up on things based on what you tell it. So if your trading style is based on XYZ, then it's gonna look for relationships in XYZ for it to give you feedback. Like it's not gonna go above and beyond that because it's not gonna assume that. It doesn't know how to do that. Nah, and everything. I mean, yeah, but you gotta define everything. If you can define everything, then yeah, it can find everything. But what do you define as everything? Like you got to figure out how to articulate yourself to the AI. If not, it's pretty much useless to you. Yeah, it's a like yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like most of this AI stuff is hype, but if you understand how to use it, it could be very effective. I just tell people that ask me about it, like AI enables the curious and enables the professional. People who know what they're doing will automatically have an advantage with AI if they give a fuck to learn about it, and then also those who are curious to learn about it. Like I spent the first like January, February, just or January mainly, just figuring out infrastructure, figuring out how coding, like how coding within an AI works, and like all of the foundations and stuff like that. Even though I still probably don't know what I'm doing, like that foundation is the reason why I'm able to do stuff today. But anyways, whatever, that's fine. I'll show you guys that later. Let's go ahead and go through these scenarios from last week, and then we go into DXY. So the this was the last week's scenario, if you guys recall, right? 27th, I think. Was it? Yeah, this was last week. No, or was it this week? Actually, let me see. Having a brain fart. My bad. No, it was Monday. Sorry, this was Monday. This was last week's trade. No, yeah, but this was a very neat trade. This is a super like textbook trade. Like I'm trying to like reduce or not reduce, but I guess like simplify the approach that I'm willing to take. And I pretty much can narrow down my my trading style. If you were to ask, it's like transitions, but on multiple scales. And what I mean by transition, we just mean solidified point, and then obviously solidified point. We consider the transition when we have a reversal BOS on an internal solidified point range or solidified range or structural range, right? And then based on that transition, we use the internal range as a point of interest to then give you a perimeter to the downside. But you want to correlate this with the external POV, which is like this, right? So this is awfully um how do I say this? This is awfully optimistic, maybe is the term. Like this isn't the best point of reference to note, but I do note it as a point of reference. Why? Because it is a high, but it's not a significant high. So I would consider this reasoning here to not be a big reason as to why this is going to continue higher. More than anything, it'd probably be a DXY move, which I didn't pull up the chart, but we can look at that really quick. On the 27th, that was here. All right, so you see how DXY did kind of, I think it did sweep, unless I'm mistaken. No, it didn't. Okay, never mind. Disregard that. But anyways, the point is the confirmation here is not a big driver as to why I'm taking this position. The main driver for this position is the transition itself. Why? Because if we go back to the picture, right, it's not just the transition, right? It's also the unsubstantiated new high. So what does that mean? Unsubstantiated new high means that we are still internally bullish, but I cannot buy because we have not substantially created a new high. So on top of that, I know that I can look for reversal if we have a transition then internally, which means structural disruption. Because the majority of my trades these days are like internal structural disruptions, but you kind of do need that internal reversal to take the external continuation. You know what I mean? So this is technically SD, right? But it's SD plus unsubstantiated new high plus the sweep, right? And then a fat engulfing candle. You know what I mean? So the engulfing complements the scenario, right? It's not that the scenario complements the engulfing. The engulfing is giving me the added confirmation of the internal SD, because the internal SD, if the internal SD is to have speed, then that is what causes the engulfing. That is why this complements the scenario. So extra validation. We're waiting for that particular sweep instead of the earlier one with the leg. I don't know what you're talking about. This one here, like this here, this engulfing, that doesn't matter to me. Like this is actually a scenario that's I saw a scanner pick up that I follow. Um, but this doesn't matter to me. And if I really wanted to narrow it down even more, it's the time of day. This is like two days into, I mean 2 days, 2 hours into the session. And if you really wanted to nitpick, like there's a very clear zone there. And like, oh, you could say that maybe this is like the mitigation. Well, no, this is like an external POI. And then this is internal structure. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. The sweep. The reason for waiting for that particular sweep instead of the earlier one within that leg. What sweep? Talking about this one? Well, this is, I mean, this doesn't matter. This is a, like if, well, one, this is not a sweep. I don't know what you mean. This is not a sweep. Like if I was to trade this, that's a completely, no, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Like this is not like a reason for my trade. This is kind of just an add-on. The reason for my trade is the transition internally with the engulfing. This is the scenario. This is the add-on. But yeah, you can say that for sure. You can say that. But the problem with like picking this one is like the rule behind it. If because in order for this to be a valid sweep, like think of what the rule would need to be for that. The rule for this would need to be just an internal high. And if we're doing that, then okay, we have this, then we have this, and then we have this, right? So that's why I'm not taking this too seriously, because I know that if I take this too seriously, then I probably have to take a loss somewhere eventually. So like if I, in order for me to consider this, then I have to consider this, this, this. So I'm seeing this more so as justification if we're really trying to narrow it down. Like this doesn't really matter. I will survive without that, if that makes sense. But yeah, you're right. This is technically still a sweep. But the problem is like I would much have rather, like if we're really wanting to make this like, let's say like a full on sweep, then I would have wanted to see this. You know what I mean? Because this is where we had the internal break, and then this is where that internal trend started. You know what I mean? If I really wanted to make that like A plus, which is this is the reason why UCAD was like A plus yesterday, which I'll come back to. But that one ended up winning, and then this one, honestly, chef's kiss. This is beautiful trade, beautiful trade. Like for the past like 2 weeks, I haven't taken many trades, right? But this is why like I want to be much more selective, and this one passed like that challenge for me. So pretty neat. And then there was also like a really nice reentry here. If you guys want to check that out, let's see. Ignore this. I didn't take this today. I didn't take this one either. We're gonna cover this one. This one was so nice. I didn't take it. I had a lot of doubt with this one. But the scenario I'm trying to talk about is this one. This one, right? Yeah, this is New York. So entry was here, perfect entry. And then like also consider like the time aspect. Like run M15. You know what I mean? So there's M15, then the duration of the transition justifies me wanting to look for the lower move or for the full target, sorry. This is something that I'm still struggling to like explain. It's like how big does the transition need to be to justify the scenario that I'm looking for? Because like in reference, like obviously in hindsight, it looks really clear, right? But like for example, this type of transition here will give you a reaction, but it's not enough to give you the full target, and you got to figure out why. And it's just because of the duration of the transition, because the duration of the transition is directly correlating with the move that you're looking for, which is like internal transition, external target. But this is like if we do this and this is to work, that's internal transition of internal transition because this is bullish. Whereas here, this is bullish, but then you actually do see an unsubstantial new low, a sweep, and a break. Whereas here, you don't see that. Like you don't see enough of a move here compared to here. Right. That's like something I'm still struggling to like kind of um like explain. It's just like it's just like a time and price thing. But more than anything, proportions. It's proportions. Like I can't expect this little move to give me the target of this big move, but I can justify this one. But I just don't know how to explain like the difference outside of it being bigger. Like I can't really tell you how much bigger. But anyways, this one, right? Do we see this one? This is kind of where this scenario is. This one here. This is a very clean OFD with like a fib. Right? So we have POI, which is I think M30. Yeah, POI M30, and then very clear reaction here. So pretty much POI reaction. You could even say this is the full POI. I don't mind that. I just know that there is an internal reaction here because a high that created a low broke. So this is a solidified low. Therefore, this break is then OFD, and then the 70 fib would have led you straight to TP. This is like very good. You know what I mean? So that one was a very good scenario. We'll come back to the rest. Next is AU trade. This one, I don't think I put, yeah, I don't think I put the after on this one. This one ended up breaking me even before, right? So this is the move here. This is a good example of what I just talked about with proportions, right? Like my scenario is here, right, which is M15. And if we go to M15, right, the move is here. So you see how this is why I took partials here because this is a intraday low, sorry. But you guys can see that the transition here is enough to get us this, but it's not enough to get us the whole move. That's why, for example, this internal range then creates a 70, right? Because we have CBOS, so that solidifies the range, and then the 70 here would have been the real entry. You see what I'm saying? So if I am to wait for a bigger transition, then I would get the full move. But this one actually didn't even have like a decent entry like that. Like, we can argue maybe there's like a internal sweep there, and then we could do the implied sweep scenario, but it's just not enough for me. I'd rather just see the full transition. So it is what it is. But yeah, this one ended up partial, minor partial, TP. I mean, break even, and then it gave me the full move. So just unfortunate there. But yeah, I guess can also argue this is a break, low, high, retracement there. All right, so there's a lot going against me on this one. So is what it is on that one. And then now for trade of the week, which is this one, which is USDCAD, I was looking at a very big sweep, which I'll show you guys here in a bit, but there's a very big external sweep. And at first I saw this as equal highs, but I don't see this as equal highs as of when the scenario is, because we actually came to mitigate that buy to sell here. And then that led into a very big move to the downside. So now the issue was finding the transition internally for me to justify a move to the downside. And I will say this initial entry was very, 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 very aggressive. I didn't go like full risk on this one because we were already at 2 p.m., right, which is 2 hours before the new day open. Therefore, right, I did see like an internal sweep, and then I did see this was like I believe an engulfing on M5. So that engulfing on M5 gave me a little bit of confidence to want to enter, but my SL had to be up here because I know that if we are to, let's say, react, if I'm to consider this a reaction and then we break the POI, then that is OFD, you know? So this was a very aggressive trade and I didn't like it. So then it ended up working out, right? From till the next day, right? So you guys can see here, it was very choppy, but it worked out. This is why I know I didn't like the scenario. Like it's not a good win, it's a bad win. Um, but you guys can see here that the reaction from there was very, very, I guess, weak is a good way to put it. And then after that, we then see a pretty big move in London, that being this, right? And then so from the London move, it kind of exposed the move to the downside because this break justifies this mitigation, which justifies the continuation to the downside. So therefore, the reason why I have my 70 entry is because once we break this internal high, that is a low high retracement continuation. Right. So this one super A plus because if we go to H4, this is the sweep that I'm playing against, right? This is so you guys know we've been bearish on like UCAD for like ever, right? And although we saw this move here, like if you guys remember, I took a loss like here a couple weeks ago, trying to find that continuation to the downside. But ever since then, we did have a range sweep, break of structure, and now it was just about finding the continuation internally. So the internal continuation was based on the sweep. This move here is the only reason I'm even looking for the continuation from the intraday POV. The only reason, because technically, like this is, this is potentially equal highs, and we could potentially see this kind of give me a move to the upside, but this would be a guess. So this is validating the LGC. So it's LGC mitigation, but more importantly, the internal transition during London, right? So external LGC mitigation, that mitigation is showing us some type of intent to want to go lower, but then the internal range is what's giving me the conviction to want to actually execute on it, right? Does this one make sense, guys? Is there any questions on this one? Yeah, really, really clean. And I got really lucky that it actually triggered me on this one. Yeah, so you can say here, right? We can see a very manipulative move, right? Like we said, three things that can happen: consolidation, manipulation, or a trend. And this is a very clear manipulation. So the manipulation plus the mitigation plus the internal transition makes this an A plus because it's also being supported by the sweep, which is this is the 50% of that range. Does this topping the 50% matter? Nah, not really. I don't really care for that. Like I don't understand that. How you see how we're bouncing here at the 50%. I just don't have any logic or any reasoning as to why I would say that this is the valid zone because it's tapping the 50% three times. I just don't see like how that makes sense. But that's just me, right? Because here I know it's just mitigation, manipulation here, and then showing its hand with the internal trend in the internal range there. So yeah, that was very good trade. Um, I almost took the inverse of it, which was this. Right? Let's ignore this. This is just something I was showing a friend. And ignore that. This one I didn't take. I really wanted to take this during session. I just didn't like how we manipulated during Asia. But then the real big reason why I even like this is this range 70%, but I was more so looking at the internal transition of that, which was I surprisingly went to M1 this time. Here. This is what I really wanted to take. So I really wanted to see this sweep, but I didn't want to see this close like back inside. I wanted to see this kind of give me a big move so that I could use the entire range as like a sell to buy. You know what I mean? So it was still valid to take this. Like you could say like this is like, refining down into like the second time frame. This is still valid, but I wanted the full expansion move here and then the sell to buy POI to the upside because this is me referencing the scalp, not the micro, which would be the internal move. So this is like a transition on a transition off a sweep. All right. Because yes, we sold. So it's cool. Like it would have been really cool to like sell my way down and then buy my way up. But unfortunately, I just didn't catch the trade. Unfortunately, that would have been pretty neat. You guys can see it did end up hitting that 1 to 6 there. But yeah, I've been really focusing on transitions because if you guys know, my risk to reward has been relatively high, like almost in every single trade these days. It's been like around 5 to 6 minimum. I would like to see like 1 to 8, and I feel like if I get like a 1 to 10, I feel like I'm pushing it. I feel like maybe I'm missing something. Like maybe I'm assuming something, or I'm considering maybe a micro. I'm not considering a scalp, but I'm considering a minor intraday and a major intraday, and then maybe the scalp is missing the scalp is the reason why I'm getting like a 1 to 10 potential. So then I think I see that as a whole. So I have to then maybe discard this, focus on this, and then I usually average out like 1 to 6 to 1 to 8. I don't know if you guys have noticed that lately. Like even the UCAD scenario, I think it was like a 1 to 8. Yeah, 1 to 6. See, you see what I'm saying? So, I've noticed that whenever I'm in flow state and I start to take relatively the same trades and I get relatively the same result, um, and it sucks because I almost have to be perfect, but needless to say, like the results are usually consistent. You start to pick up on habits. You start to pick up on the intuitive side, if you want to put it like that. Like intuition is just figuring out like we were talking about earlier, right? Consolidation, trending, or manipulation is figuring out what commonalities you see across the market that fall under these three categories. Like I have a lot of conviction here. Like my intuition is telling me that this is going to go down because we have a manipulation. So now I just have to fill in the gaps to then find an execution. You see what I mean? Like how you emphasize the transition after the mitigation. I've been caught catching the mitigation only and now waiting for the order flow to establish. I mean, yeah, like I'm not just gonna take this because then you're guessing. Like there's a guess at that point. Like the POI is the extra aspect to me. For me, more so, it's just figuring out the transition. Because if a higher time frame candle is composed of internal price action, then if I want to catch the move of the big higher time frame candle, then I have to analyze the transition. And then you can kind of just figure out like the I cover this in the sweet book, but like if you want like combinations for like time frames, like a big 4 hour candle is usually like or actually an H4 candle in general is like an M15 PA. But let's just say like a daily candle is composed of M15 transitions. Like that's like the easy way for me to put it. Like you see how this move, in order to catch this big candle, I needed to see like the M15 transition. So like daily M15, H4, M1. I don't know. It's kind of like maybe those are like the proportions, but don't quote me on that. But that's kind of what I mean. Like if you're just trading off the POI, then you're not considering the transition. But if you aren't considering the transition, then you're contradicting yourself in some type of way. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today, guys. Um I don't have too much to add outside of, oh yeah, DXY. I guess we can talk about this really quick. We got the reaction, we didn't get the follow through. And I do want to talk about this. So that when I see a big candle like this and it's not shown um across other feeds, I disregard it. I like when I was looking at this, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go to this one because it's not the same. So if it's not the same, then I don't consider it a true move. So I just disregard it. That's why, like you see here, my markup here, this is like for the EU buy kind of scenario where we see this here, right? And then we were kind of anticipating this to kind of be a structural disruption, but the structural disruption had no follow through, right? It kind of just swept. So then this is what led to the EU buy. So this would have been structural disruption if we like fully broke through and like maintained the move. And then that would have justified our original bias, which was like continuing the accumulation. But now, gotta see this a bit differently, right? Where we did see the sweep here, right? But the weekly is gonna be pretty nasty on this. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty nasty on this. Yeah, you can see that. So when I'm seeing this now, it's like because of how impulsive this move was, like I can't justify any type of buy scenario right now. So like even though there is a potential sweep there, it is a break of structure, like in terms of a bearish structural range. But this high momentum is like the biggest telltale. So like if the big momentum is to the downside, I don't want to fight that, you know. So as of now, like I have to anticipate that this is going to continue to lower. And the only way that I could potentially um see this kind of reverse on me, I would need to see like something like that. But this is like guessing, right? I have no reason to believe this. Or, we just see a pretty big impulsive move to the upside, that would be cool too. And then just find like an internal transition. That would be cool, you know what I mean? Like, but outside of that, I have to play in favor of this. Just like last week we were playing in favor of this. We had to play against that because that's what the internal range is saying. But now the internal range is saying the opposite. So I have to play based on that. Right. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, do we have any case studies? Let me see if I could pull up this pull up this oh, excuse me. Pull up this trading journal while you guys send me some case studies. Do we have any in the chat, maybe? Let me see. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is the EU buy. I like this because of this. And then I didn't note it, but I think there's like an engulfing here, maybe on H4. But yeah, I do like this little sequence here. You should note that sequence. This is a nice little sequence. I like seeing stuff like this. Uh, that's the journal. I'll show it to you guys in a bit. Um, okay. So yeah, I do like that. I just need to see the internal transition. Yeah, the only thing that's kind of holding me back here, I think this was yesterday, right? Yeah, this is yesterday. This is the only reason why I was holding myself back was like this. I don't like whenever we see like an impulsive move like that, a big engulfing candle, especially. Also, I would stay away from these weird time frames, bro. I don't see the need for these weird time frames anymore. Like your sell to buy is here. Just use the sell to buy. Like I said, if you're trying too hard, like if you feel like you're trying too hard, you probably are. Okay, I see this. Yeah, I like it. I just don't see the reason for the entry. You see, like here, like the sell to buys here. So just use that. I just don't know why your entry is here. But yeah, it's fine. This is 100% because of the where you're trading this, which is like here, that this whole transition. Yeah, the move is the engulfing, and the engulfing is usually like a high momentum internal move, you know? So that's kind of like an implication. I wouldn't say it's like a law, but it's like an implication. I don't know, maybe it could be, who knows? But yeah, this is like where I think where I had like this the M1 position I was telling you guys about. And like this is another scenario where you're just selling yourself short, bro. Like you're trading a transition. You just swept the daily, like this is H1. You just swept the daily low and you had a dual sweep and you had momentum to the upside and you had an internal transition. Like you're selling yourself short. Like you should be aiming 100% for this. Like if we have this here, we failed to break this low. We swept the daily low, and then you have an internal range and you have an internal range beyond that. That's like you have one level supporting you, two levels supporting you, and then three level internal supporting you. You should be aiming 100% for this because you have to. This is like the foresight. This is the hard part about foresight is understanding what can happen after you move hits TP, right? Like this is the reason why this would be one of my partials is because I know that if we substantially break through this, we're 100% going for here. But the reason why it's also partial is because I don't know that because it hasn't happened yet. Therefore, this can either also give me like a sweep, you know what I mean, like a dual sweep. But I cannot know that until it happens. So that's why I have to take the partial here. You know what I mean? So like being able to try to see where the move can potentially go based on if this and that. So like if this breaks through substantially, then I'm aiming for here. Right. But if this breaks and then fails to continue, then it would fail. Like if this then that. And like there's only usually like only a couple of things that can happen. And you have to train your eye on that. Like you have to be very intentional about that because if not, you won't ever catch on. But I try to do this with every single scenario. Like every single scenario when I'm looking at a bias, I'm looking at what can potentially happen after what is currently happening happens. And then like there's usually like an immediate move and then there's usually the aftermath. Like for example, like what we said with DXY last week, we were looking at like this, right? Hence why we were looking at the reaction. Oh, that's cool. Hence why we were looking at the reaction to go higher because of what was playing. So therefore, I know that if we are to continue this move and we break through this, then I'm aiming for this, because that means that we now have an LG and we now have some type of high momentum going to the upside. Therefore, I can aim for here. So if I'm already in a position here, then I can justify holding here. Like that foresight is like pretty hard to like. No, it's not. You don't have to force yourself. It's not forcing yourself, bro. You're not forcing anything. You're in alignment. This is not for. If you force anything in life, it's just gonna go bad. Trust me, it's gonna go bad, really bad. Like there's a really cool book called like Reality Transurfing, which talks about like pendulums, where everything is like a pendulum, but you can't really force things because then it probably won't go in your favor because you're trying to force it. But it's deeper than that. I'm not gonna go like too deep into it. Um, but like you don't force yourself to do anything. You're in alignment. I know that if this breaks through with a substantial move, then I can expect this, because if this is to break through, then that confirms more of a reversal bias here, right? Because we're technically bearish. We have a internal move there, right? Because technically, like this is in play, but we have this that just came into play. So therefore, if this move causes this, then I can aim for this, because this is a failure to continue lower. You have to be able to see that. Like here, you're just setting yourself short, because now this is such a big deal breaker, because like if you're setting yourself short, you're waiting for these very good moves and you're only taking the bare minimum. So now maybe your losses are like making you unprofitable. Like this is the difference between a break-even trader and a profitable trader. These I think this is one of the biggest like boundaries, I guess you could say. Like how to break that boundary is being able to see foresight. Because conviction comes from having confidence in the setup. But what does confidence in the setup look like? Okay, well, I know that this will probably go there based on either my data, my models, or a conjunction of the two. But you guys know how I feel about data, right? But anyways, right, you got to be able to see that. Like you're just setting yourself so short. Like because if you're just gonna take these little moves like this, okay, trade this, trade this, trade that. All right, like sweep, maybe engulfing, get yourself a little 1 to 2 or something. Like if you're just gonna do that, you know what I mean? Cool, no worries, no worries. But like, you're just selling yourself too short here. Like you want to see foresight. If you have confidence in your setup, then you should also know what happens after your setup. That's why like this. I don't have the EU move set up anymore. That's why I'm able to hold from here all the way to the low, because I'm already playing based on this sweep here. Like this is the exact same thing that happened actually. Like this is like the same thing that happened here, but like on a bigger scale. So like if we have a manipulation here, right, then I know that I'm aiming for here from the H1 POV. But then if I'm looking at the M5, which is the internal, then I clearly see that after the manipulation, I see an internal range. Internal range, cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then I see the transition. So if I'm within the range, I have a transition, then why would I TP here? Like it's like me taking this transition off of this bias for this target, but I TP here. That's why I'm wanting to hold to like here. And like trust me, if the move is right, you will never come back to your entry. So like if you do come back to the break even, that means you were wrong about something. Like the AU trade that I showed you guys, like the move here. Like there's definitely a misalignment there. That's why I hit break even before I hit TP, which is this, right? Because you could say that maybe I was bullish, CBOS, and we were supposed to continue. So therefore my setup was too optimistic, right? There was not enough alignment because of this. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's I don't know, but you can't keep selling yourself short. If not, what's the point in stressing yourself out over finding a decent trade, you know? There's no point. See, like here too, like if you're gonna reach here, you should just might as well aim for this because you have this in your favor. You have this in your favor. You have this in your favor. Why are you not aiming for this? Like I told you this last week. You should just be holding a partial. Like just hold the fucking partial. It's not that difficult. Just hold 10% of the position. It's not that difficult. And if it loses, so be it. But this is the deal breaker for this is I think what the deal breaker is gonna be. You see, like you're working really hard to see the transition. It's like doing everything that you just did, looking at the transition and TPing here. Or taking a partial here. That would also be like kind of not worth it if your bias is based on the external picture. You know? So let's see what happened. See what I mean? So from here, yes, you didn't reach this. I would definitely have trailed here, right? But the reason why this doesn't hit, feel like a GU, is misalignment because you can see that this is technically still bullish, even though I was aiming for like down here as well. This is misalignment. You see what I mean? But that still doesn't like change my point. I would still 100% aim for this 100% of the time. So if it doesn't hit your desired target, then I just know it's a misalignment. You're taking retracement, sure. Like every move is a retracement. Every move is a impulse to some extent, bro. If you're considering all levels of structure, your every move is a continuation. Every move is a reversal. That's what makes things fractal. So now it's just a matter of figuring out the best combination. Because like saying that you're wrong and saying that all of your trades are something, sure, but you have to know that they're actually all both. They're like everything everywhere all at once. That's like the best definition for the chart. Like every move is a continuation, every move is a reversal technically. That's what makes everything um that's what makes everything that's what makes it this fractal. That's the whole definition of why this is fractal. I don't like this one at all. You're in no man's land, bro. Failed to break a high, failed to break a low, failed to break a high. I don't like this one at all. Just big no. I just don't even want to cover it. Not even not it's not worth the time. Yeah, there's no possible way to know the direction this is going to take. There's no possible way. This is my journal. I'll come back to this. But yeah, there's just no way. Like there's no way for you to find a bias here. You're breaking so many rules that I always talk about. The equal highs is not a bias. The equal highs does not dictate your bias ever, 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 ever. I promise you, you're taking this position because you think you have a sweep and you have equal highs as a reason to take this buy. No, no, this is not working because you have no man's land. This is a very clear triangle. And here, you're trying way too hard here. Trying way too hard there. There's no POI on the H1, so disregard it. Like if you have to refine here, I think you're trying too hard, which is what I used to do, which is why I don't do it anymore. So you're breaking a lot of stuff that I tell you every week, bro. So I'll just leave it at that. Let's see. Anything in the Discord? Mm, okay, cool. I think we do have one. Ah, this is cool. This is neat. I don't like the entry. I don't like the entry on this one. Like if we zoom in here, like I want to see this tap as my reference. Excuse me. Like I don't know why you're entering here. Like I want to see this, but this is like a hardcore reversal as well because like we failed to break a high, then we come take a sweep below. So like if me to for me to consider this a sweep, I need that to fully break, but then it didn't come back. So like this wouldn't have been a trade for me. This one's a good trade. So you see what I mean? This is what I mean by like the sweep. How you have like the transition, then the POI. This is like a good trade here. And that's fine. You take it here. It doesn't really matter as long as you're acknowledging this and you're acknowledging the transition. Like the most important detail there is like this. Right? That is triggering the structural disruption slash reversal, or the structural disruption, which is then triggering the reversal, which is based on the unsubstantial new high, which is based on the internal bearish trend. You see what I mean? And then the target here is perfect, bro. Very good. This is great. But this one, um, the transition is good. The entry is good. Maybe the position is not. And to try to realize that is like I feel, in my opinion, I want to catch the transition always. This is like I always want to catch the transition because I'll at least get a reaction. This is why you see like a lot of my break even trades, like they'll give me like the first partial and then they'll get me a break even. Like the GU sell from last week was like a good example of that. I don't know if I showed that one where I do get the first partial, which is the first like intraday target, but I might still get the break even. But the reason for that is because I usually aim for the transition from bullish to bearish, bullish to bearish, bullish to bearish, maybe even bearish to, I mean, yeah, bearish to bullish, sorry. Like this would have been a good entry, technically, because you have a sweep and then the transition. But the reason for that is because if you catch the transition from bearish to bullish, bullish to bearish, that shows the beginning of the move, right? Like you guys, I always come back to this here. Um, I come back to this a lot and then interpret it with like how we trade, like this one, right? Like these are all transitions, right? But the reason why we trade transitions is because this is where the move begins. This is the bearish to bullish transition. This is technically a bearish to bullish transition, but this is then a level. Well, if you're adding the second level, is the continuation, right? But I'm usually trying to catch this, the bearish to bullish, inside of here, if that makes sense, because the fractals. Like I'm usually trying to catch these two, and that is so that I can avoid like losing a scenario like this. Because if you note here, the transition is here and you're trying to catch like the continuation. You know what I mean? So that inherently is different, a different scenario completely, even though the entry is the same compared to this. Does that make sense? I don't know if you're still in the call. That the guy who's yeah, he's still in the call. I don't know if that makes sense. Like if you watch old stuff, like I used to have a fourth model, the first fourth model, which was the order flow continuation model. And that was pretty much this, which was a model and then the continuation of the model. But I don't really trade that anymore. I want to strictly focus on transitions because of scenarios like this, because it's not a bad loss, if that makes sense. But yeah, this scenario here, if you want to avoid this, just focus on these. Focus on these. You know what I mean? And these are actually much easier to model, if it makes sense. Um, because if you're dynamic enough to go against biases, like there's a lot of very valid scenarios here from if it from both directions, right? Like how people call ping pong or whatever. Like you can see here, there's a very clear transition there. Here you can see that there is a transition here based on order flow disruption. You can see here the break here, but it didn't come back here. So unfortunately, that wouldn't have been a move. Um, the only way that move would have been anything is if you know like the micro. But either way, I still don't think you would have cut the move. But the opportunity is like there, right? Like the transition, this is like A plus here. You aim for here as TP1. You can even aim for there later. But this is how you get like one the sixes that I'm aiming for. Like that's really like my base now is like 1 to 5, 1 to 6. But yeah, I think that covers it. There's this one guy I've been seeing in the chat, and I don't like his trades at all. Um, yo, what the fuck are y'all posting on here, bro? What the fuck are y'all posting? I don't like majority of this guy's trades, guys. I don't want these his types of trades to like give you guys FOMO. Like if he's like one of a kind and he's like actually fucking killing it, then hey, good for him. But I'm telling you this right now, this type of approach, what the fuck? Um, this type of approach is not the best for most traders. You're hardcore reversal chasing. You're like this is a misalignment with like external, um, internal, and then you're focusing on the internal of the internal, which it can work, but which it does work. No, it does work because it has to happen. You need to have the internal to transition so that the internal then also transitions. But the problem is like the amount of losses you're going to take in the process of that. Like you're going to take a bunch of losses. But yeah, I don't recommend taking trades like he does. Like these like the hardcore reversals. Like this one makes a little bit more sense because you do have like this, right? But then here it's just like this. No, like just put your stop here, bro. It's not that deep. Like if you're actually trading like this and you're actually one of a kind, like you'll easily become a millionaire. But like, nah, like I don't recommend any of this for like most people. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all. This is the journal I've been kind of working on here. I'm still working on some like what do they call it? The UI UX stuff. All this is like just prop data. Like I haven't built it fully yet, but this is kind of like the design that I want to take. And yeah, if it would be cool if I could make this like open source or whatever. And this is all like pretty straightforward. This is what I mean with like what data is telling you is like based on what you're making and like logging a trade too. Like I'm gonna add that. Logging a trade or just inputting your trades. But then if you input your trades, then you would have to you that would only be for like metrics. Then I want to have like reviews and stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool, but I haven't fully built it yet. This is just like the UI stuff. You see, I like that. Then I have like different. Maybe I'll have like a. Maybe I'll make like a document where you guys can vote on which one you guys like the most after like I build it with all of these. But pretty neat, right? What do you guys think? Pretty cool, right? Like I don't think there's any like good open source free journal that people can use, and I think this can be the first one. I call it Locus. Yeah, I might even put it like on Gumroad or something. Um, and yeah, other than that, not too much to talk about outside of this. I'm still working on this. Maybe like I said, I'll make like I'll make something to where you guys can vote on like what you guys like and like what you guys don't like. And then I would also have to figure out how to give it like candle data, which is a bit difficult. But yeah, other than this, I do the only thing I actually do kind of want to work on this month is for one cohort 2. Yeah. There's going to be like a CSV upload or something like that. Like I either want to build a bridge to like MT5, Trade of 8, Trading View, etc. See if I can like find it somewhere or something. Or you can like download a CSV and then like you could just have like a Claude ChatGPT, like just have it operate for you. Because like I don't want to do the whole like because that's like if I was to charge for something like this, it would be like really cheap. But if I wanted to add the AI side, like I don't like there's a lot of math that I have to do with that. If I wanted to add the AI side, mm, which would be like adding like the chatbot feature and stuff like that. But that stuff, trust me, it's really not that helpful. I don't know if you guys have used chat AI chatbots with like journals before. They're mostly pretty shit, if I'm being honest. Like they're just reiterating info to you that you already see on the chart. So it's not really AI, it's just like a loop. That's why it's all usually like kind of just codable. And you can change the colors too. I haven't really played with the colors. But I mean I like these colors. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to do like this for like light mode and like this for dark mode. Light and dark mode. Or maybe this one for dark mode, light mode, dark mode. Or yeah, whichever one, you know. These are all dark mode and then these are light modes. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll make like a I don't know. I'll fully build it. And like I'll add all the features to it that I want to add onto it because I already have like a lot of features. These aren't all of them. Um, but yeah, these are like I want to make something. And I don't know, guys. Like let's just say like I do end up making it something paid. Like I could end up making this like something super cheap. Like maybe without the AI stuff. And then maybe I could figure out a way for you guys to integrate this into like your home like your actual page or something or your actual computer, sorry, and then you can have AI play with it. I'd have to figure that out. But if I was to like do something like this, it'd be super cheap. Like the only bottleneck would be how many accounts. Like I don't know like how server cost would like be considered with that. But more than anything, like this is just kind of for personal use and if I can open source it to everybody, I'll open source it. Who gives a fuck? Like I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if you guys have thought about what kinds of apps like you guys would actually pay for. And like I think eventually like these trading journals are just going to be 100% free. All these terminals and these fundamental apps that people are making, they're all going to be free unless they're like connected to like APIs and stuff, which is something I'm also working on, but I'm not going to show that one today. But um yeah, the only way I would ever charge is if like I need something to keep it running. If not, then I wouldn't charge. And if I open source this and it's all Python code, or like, yeah, I'm usually probably gonna make it in Python, then I just make it for free. Like, who cares? And there could be like a lot of cool promo with it, you know? And then figure out how to get some data from it and stuff like that. Yeah, the outside of this, the only other thing I'm working on,
This is like I'm just trying to make like I'm still working on my scanner too. Hold on, I'm opening this one app for you guys. Hold on. Make sure it's the right one. But yeah, the main things this month, cohort 2, which is all the models. The hopefully finish up this trading journal. I'm making one more app, and then the only thing I would actually kind of like to do on the side, like I would like to make maybe PDFs and like kind of like the LGC blueprint, just other blueprints. I want to make other blueprints and like I don't know, charge something super cheap on it. But the reason why I charge super cheap is because like I hate that with WAP you can't leave a review unless you paid for something or like kind of like stars and stuff like that. I think or there was like an issue we had with that before. I think it's to leave reviews. I don't know, I forgot, but it was some issue with like WAP, and I kind of want to make like other blueprints, not for the models, right? Because then that would defeat the purpose of like my actual ebooks. But like I don't know, maybe other options like fractals or like solidified points or like I don't know something, and just charge like I don't know like 15 or $20 or something like that. But just to see if I can get more reviews and stuff like on my what page and like other pages that I want to try out too. Transition blueprint. Um, maybe I don't know. But yeah, other than that, do you have any questions, concerns, guys? Any? How is this doing? Oh, this one's actually popping off. That's crazy. Yeah, but like, why would I explain the models? Like that defeats the purpose of my actual like paid PDFs. You know what I mean? I don't want to do something that's gonna diminish the point of those. You know? No, 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 no. I don't want to just do it for reviews. Well, no, bro, the LGC blueprint is already for free on there. Well, no, that I don't want. No, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to just do it just for reviews. I actually want to provide something. You know? Yeah, try to see if you can review the LGC blueprint. But either way, I want to make like small PDFs if I can. But yeah, cause let me see if I can look up my web page. I have not checked that out in like a long time. Oh yeah, yeah. See, like it only has like I think 11 here. Yeah, so if you guys can like go leave a review, that would be cool. Like I have it in Spanish and English. Yeah, there's an asshole that left 4 stars. Like, why would you do that? You're a fucking asshole. Mm. But yeah, do you have any more questions or concerns, guys? I'm having trouble loading this up because it's on my laptop, but trying to load it up on here. Anything before we wrap up today's Zoom? But yeah, hopefully I start these streams up too. I want to do start them up soon, just like an hour or something. I want to get on YouTube and Kick. I think hopefully I start those next week. I just gotta fix my sleep schedule. But yeah, guys, I'll probably end the recording here.